Hey misers and makers, we're going to talk a little bit about the dry box that I built for the filament for the 3D printer. Bottom line is I mainly wanted a place to organize it and to have it all where it'll can be fed real easily without having to constantly change it on the spool and everything. So I just wanted one place where I could have all my filament, or at least a bunch of them that I could switch over from one filament to another real easy. So you can see behind me I've got the Filament Dry Box. It's not totally airproof, it's not airtight. I just wanted something to put it in and keep it, relatively moisture free. So it's not totally sealed, but it does the job. So this video I'm going to show you how I built it, and if you're interested in making one, go right ahead. And if you want more videos like this, please subscribe and share it with others. Okay, here we go with the video. Okay, so I wanted to make a dry box for the filament. So I got a like a sealed container over at Home Depot. They're a little more expensive than you can get like at Walmart or Target or something like that. But I got that, and I got a PVC pipe, 2-inch outer diameter PVC pipe. Just because of the PLA I use, that's the diameter of the inside of the spool. So I got a big PVC pipe. I got a long 10-foot one that I'm just going to cut down because it was the same price for a 2-foot one, which I'm going to have to cut off like an inch anyway to fit in the dry box. So anyway, I'm working on that. I found on Thingiverse, I found a like a holder that I need to put on both sides of it to hold the PVC. That's what I'm starting to print out right now. It's doing the leveling. And what I had to do is I found one on Thingiverse that someone had used for a dry box, but it was for a different size. It was for smaller PVC, so I just scaled it up. So that's what I'm going to use. So it's printing it out, getting ready to print it out right now. It's leveling the bed, and then it'll print it out, and we'll start building the dry box. As you can see, it's a little bit of a mess around here with all my project stuff going on. It's kind of my work desk here. I'm going to kind of clean this thing up while it's printing. Should only take about 30 minutes or so, it says. Ooh, actually that says 2 hours now. It recalibrated. That's a long time for just a little thing. Anyway, we'll let it print out while I'm cleaning it up. So it'll give me 2 hours to clean up. I should be able to get it clean before that. Anyway, it looks like it's about to kick in there. The hot bed's at 60. The hot end is almost at 210. In fact, we'll just watch. It's going to kick off in just a second here. Alright, so here we go. It's getting ready to start off the print. Like I said, it's a 2-inch diameter, which is about 5 centimeters or 50 millimeters. So let's see what we got here. Clean this up a little bit. Alright, so that's the outer skirt. And here's the actual print. Nice. So what I'll end up doing is printing out 2 of these, one for each end to hold the PVC in the dry box. There's the screw holes. And there we go, so we'll check back later after I clean up a bit. And we're getting close to finishing up here. We're at just over 2 hours. It's a little higher resolution than I really need for something that's not really to be looked at. It's just a practical use. But anyway, it's looking good. It's almost done. It's a little warping. A little coming up more there. I didn't put hairspray down before I did this, but that's no big deal because it's going to be inside the box. So we're just in the last few minutes here. finishing the last couple of layers on the end, finishing the top part. I have to tweak that belt on the y-axis. It's making a lot of noise. So closing it out here, and then we'll check it and see if the pipe fits. Nice. Looks good. Alright, let it cool down a little bit and snap that joker off. Alright, so while it's cooling, let's go ahead and measure it to make sure it'll fit. .43 millimeters. And the actual outer diameter is 41.86, so it should be perfect. Just a little bit of wiggle room. See? Got, looks like about just a little bit of wiggle room. This should be perfect. So once it cools off, pop it off of there and we'll test it. Okay, we've cooled down to about 40 degrees, so this thing should just come right off. Nice. Turned out good enough. A little stringy. We'll clean that up. Okay. Alright, so the big test. Will it fit properly on the PVC? The answer is a resounding yes, and it fits just about perfectly. Just enough give, but not too much. I must say, the first shot worked out extremely well. Now I'll just print another one for the other side. I have to cut this down to the right width of the box, and we'll be good to go. So here's the box, and this will mount somewhere about here, and there'll be one on this end too, and then the PVC pipe will go in between. So we just got to measure that to see how long we cut the PVC. Print another one of these, screw them on there. In fact, let me see. So as you can see, I've got a 2-foot level here, but it's got a measuring thing on the side here, and about an inch roughly. See that right there? Roughly an inch if you go to the center is how this middle piece comes out. Roughly an inch. So that would make this about 22 inches. 24 minus 2. 22 inches to cut the pipe to go right in the center. And it's even okay if it's a little bit short, because we've got, what, let's see, about 1.25 inches to play with there, because the width between the side and where the lip is about 1.25 inches, so we've got plenty of wiggle room there. So even if it's a little bit too short, that's fine. So about 1 inch off, so about 22 inches is where we want to cut the PVC. Okay, so instead of printing the exact same one, I just resliced it with a little bit less of a resolution, so it'll be done a little bit quicker. I just sliced it, got the G code now, so now we're going to give it a shot. Get it printing, see how it does. So, get that kicked off and see what it says. It says the estimated time is 1 hour this time, which makes sense because it actually took 2 hours last time, and this time I made the layer height instead of 0.2, 0.4, so just that in and of itself roughly should cut it the time in half, so we'll see. This is finishing up here, and we are at half the time. We're at a little bit less than an hour instead of 2 hours. But I want you to see how it looks like crap. So you're paying a price going faster. I basically cut the wall width in half from 0.8 to 0.4, and I cut the layer height or doubled it from 0.2 to 0.4. And look how crappy that looks. Now it will still work fine, but you compare these two, it's a big difference. Now, since it's not really going to be seen, it's going to be in the box and it's just to support the PVC, it would actually be fine. The only thing is it's going to annoy the mess out of me knowing it looks so crappy like that, so I might run it again till I get another one like this, just because that'll bug the mess out of me. I might just start it up and run it as I go to bed or something. It'll only take 2 hours anyway. And that looks pretty good. So I mean, this still, like I said, it is plenty strong. It'll hold it great, no problem. It just looks terrible since it's thinner walls and it's just rough. Look at that, it's just crap. I mean, it would work fine. It would just annoy me. So I think I'm gonna print another one. But look at that, it's a good education on the difference between a little higher, twice the resolution at 0.2 millimeters per layer, and that's 0.4 millimeters per layer. Big difference. So yeah, you save some time, but is it really worth it? I'd rather spend 2 hours and get that than 1 hour to get that. Now there might be a good compromise. Might be able to do the wall width to 0.8 instead of 0.4, so it'd be double the wall width. So that would basically give another layer to these walls, which would be the opposite direction. It would kind of cover that up. Wouldn't be the best, but it would look better. These would probably be filled in better. It would be better than this, but I'd rather just go the 2 hours and get this. I mean, that's nice. That is just so nice. Let's see here. Man, it's still pretty hot, so it's stuck on there good. Didn't get the warping. I put some hairspray on there, so. But I'd rather have a little bit of a warp on one edge and look like that than that garbage. So anyway, that's the world of 3D printing. Alright, it's the next day. I just woke up and there's the 2 hour print. Nice new high-res print. I feel much better now. Now I've got 2 of the good prints. Now we can put the rest of the box together. Isn't that nice? That's what I like to see. Okay, so let's cut the tube. We said it was 22 inches. So let's make a mark. Can't do this easily with one hand holding this. Anyway, I'm going to mark this at 22 inches and go outside and cut it. And there we go. It's pretty much perfect. That's how that will sit in the box. Very nice. Okay, so I've mounted the pipe holders there, one on each side, looking good. Used just some screws, washers, and nuts. Let's see how this works. Perfect. Perfecto. So that is good to go. Now I just gotta add some little filament feeders through the side, depending on where I want them. I haven't totally decided yet. And put the spools on there, and it's good to go. Okay, so I'm going to print out another one of these right here, and then we will mount it right here on the next one over, so you can see how we do that. Okay, so we basically have a filament feeder, and we have a filament feeder nut. So I'm going to print out the feeder now. And of course we got to wait for it to heat up. Starting to heat up a little bit here. So I will skip to once it starts printing. We've got the hot end heating up here. You can see we've got a little over 3 amps going to it as it's heating up the extruder. Heating up the hot end. And now that the hot end has reached its temperature, the hot bed should start heating up. And there we go. It's going to go up to 60 degrees. As you can see, now that the hot end has already reached its temperature, it's only about 1 amp roughly that it's using to stay at the temperature it needs to, while the hot bed is increasing in temperature. We're almost at 60 degrees. As soon as we hit it, it should start printing. There we go. And here it starts printing. So we can get a little focus here. Alright, focus. There we go. Need to oil the Z-axis a little bit. It's getting a little squeaky. Here's the skirt. Now the main print. And we're done. Okay. Now let's pop that joker off. Nice. Clean it up a little bit. But again, I'm not too worried about it looking perfect. It's just a functional piece. So now let's print out the nut. We've got the hot end heating up here. You can see we've got a little over 3 amps going to it as it's heating up the extruder. Heating up the hot end. And now that the hot end has reached its temperature, the hot bed should start heating up. And there we go. It's going to go up to 60 degrees. As you can see, now that the hot end has already reached its temperature, it's only about 1 amp roughly that it's using to stay at the temperature it needs to, while the hot bed is increasing in temperature. We're almost at 60 degrees. As soon as we hit it, it should start printing. There we go. And here it starts printing. So we can get a little focus here. Alright, focus. There we go. Filament feeder nut print. And now we're printing out the nut. Filament there. Let's see if that'll clear out. There we go. A little messy. Gosh. Clean this a little bit too. While the nut is finishing printing, what we want to do is we want to get a drill bit ready to drill into the dry box where this is going to go. So we need to get a drill bit that is larger than this inside part, which this one is, as you can see here, and yet it's not so big that it won't be covered up. So this is the perfect size, as you can see. So that's what we're going to use to drill. So we'll get the drill loaded up and ready to go. There we have our hole. Just need to clean it up a little bit. And now we've got our nut. Clean that up just a little bit. Okay, and so now we will take the nut and the bolt, feed it in through the hole we just drilled, and put the nut on there. Tighten it up. And we are good to go. Get a little bit of tube here. Just enough to go through and give a little flex. And cut it. And then we'll slip that through. Take the tube. We can actually feed it through this side if we want. And there we go. Then when we're ready, we just run the filament right through there and we're good to go. So that's about it. So here is the finished dry box with the spools of filament in it. Looks like I've got about 6 of them in there right now. I could easily fit at least one more in there. There's also room to put some extra spools in the back. So anyway, that's how I do it. I still have to add some more feeders through here if I wanted to have that, but I've usually just been swapping it around as I needed them. So that's what I did, and it makes it real convenient. It just comes out of there and goes into the enclosure here, up into the Bowden setup, and prints away. So works real good, lasts a long time, keeps it organized. So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, share it with others, and let's have a great time making stuff together.